right. Hello,
Hi
Vineyard.
there.
How's it
Hello,
going?
Vineyard. It's going good with me. If you're asking me, if you're asking the people online, I don't know. They'll have to let us know how it's going.
Yeah, kind of asking everybody. I'm playing around with a new program, and before I nerd out on everybody, we'll introduce ourselves. But chances are everybody watching already knows who we are. I am Douglas Laws. I'm the worship pastor at Keys Vineyard Community Church, and with me is my dad, Pastor Steve Laws. He kind of does a few things at Keys Vineyard Community Church as well. So,
Yeah,
what we're
thank
doing
you.
now is we're trying out new things because we're just sitting around and we have all these ideas, and we thought we could share some of them with you because we
I
don't we
just
don't
laugh
do a whole
because
lot.
no, we're just sitting around, yeah, and I'm just
Yeah,
kind of
we're
laughing
just
at it.
we're just sitting around,
That's the
much
most
like this.
ridiculous thing you've said. Yeah, yeah. I had to stop like six things so I could come and sit and do this for a little while. And while that live thing was going on, I was on my desk. I have a little desk calendar thing that has jokes on it,
Oh
and I
boy.
was thinking what's really sad is like I've done all of these in the past at some point. Like
So,
I always wanted to be a Gregorian monk, but I never got the chance. And I thought that was
I've heard that
hilarious.
one. Yeah, you've said
But
that one at
nobody
church.
laughed at. I have. I've used it. Why do scuba divers roll backward off boats? Because if they rolled forward, they'd still be in the boat.
Oh yeah, that's I remember you telling that one too. That's
I,
so
I
the
saw
whole
these.
calendar, is that like your source material, that calendar on your desk?
No, somebody gives it to me. Unfortunately, I've done almost all of them. So I was just thinking
Man,
about how sad it is that somebody's. It's like you could have made a calendar out of my past bad jokes, and there they
that's
were.
probably where they got it. They've been watching our live
Uh,
streams.
see, our sermons for the last 20 years and have all my bad jokes making calendars, but they're not sending me my portion. But that happens. But now we're doing podcasts, which is where I hear the real money is. And
Yeah, this has been a very it's a venture capitalist adventure.
I'd like to thank our sponsors today, which is the
Keys
Vineyard
Vineyard
Church.
Community Church for
Yeah,
sponsoring this big social experiment
big
going on.
podcast. Yeah,
But
but
one of the cool things, anyway, I was talking about it's a technology age that we're in more so than ever. Church is online only. We're hoping to get back to real church here soon. Quote unquote real church. But what this tech allows me to do is overlay social graphics. So we'll see. Okay, so I got to send that again, which is what we're going to do. But we'll be able to have comments go right on the bottom of the screen. So if you guys have any questions at all throughout the show, feel free to put them on Facebook, and then I can put them on the screen with us. So, we're hoping to get like some good questions. You can ask us
yeah,
ridiculous questions. That's fine too. But we'll definitely do that. And guys like us, we have some notes and then we just kind of ramble on, don't we? But
we'll be rambling a lot.
we'll
But
be
it would be
rambling for a
great
bit.
if you are watching on Facebook, just or on any of the streams, but on Facebook in particular, just shoot us a comment or a question, let us know, and we can see that as we go. Doug's getting that ready. But there are some things I do want to talk about while we do that. We're going to be talking. We've been doing our giveaways, our drive-through giveaways, and they've been going really well. And I wanted to thank the church for being so generous and allowing that to happen, and that we've been able to bless the community. Um, we've been giving away these meal kits along with paper towel and toilet paper and rice and pasta. We're trying, which are things that we can purchase wholesale that people still can't get at a retail level. So we've been buying that to give away. And that's been great. But we've been doing these meal kits. We partner with Chef Matt, who's come up with some great ideas, and then we go out and find the supplies, and we're putting those meals together. And yesterday we did stuffed peppers, and so we gave away 240 meal kits. So a meal kit feeds 4 or 5 people. So you need to think about when we give away 240 meal kits. That's 1,000 meals in effect, plus the other stuff. And it's been great that we've been able to do that. And it's been a great thing to watch happen. People come through. We get to pray for people. We set up a prayer booth and we're blessing folks. And so that's just been great. We've been doing that all month. We have one coming up Saturday, another one, and our meal kit's going to be. I just looked at it, crispy mahi taco. Oh, that's Chef Matt looking in the car right now.
Yep.
And so we're actually going to have 300 meal kits to give away this Saturday, along with the paper towels and toilet paper and the rice and the pasta, and just getting to bless people. And Pastor Fran is going up, if it all works out, to the farmers market in Homestead, and we're going to purchase a lot of a quantity of produce. I think they told me we can get zucchini and green beans and blueberries. So if that works out, he's going up to buy a bunch of that, a trailer full of that, and we'll be giving that away on Saturday too. So again, that's church. That's your generosity that makes that happen, and we're just so thankful to be a part of that. And I also wanted to say that on Sunday, this coming Sunday, we're going to go ahead and do the drive-through prayer and communion again. It
Oh,
went
good.
really well Easter Sunday, and we're just going to keep doing that until we can sort of start to meet again at some level. So those things are going on, and uh,
Awesome.
that's the
So,
that's
how
the main
many
part of that.
there's a couple things on the socials. Is your other microphone plugged in right now, Dad? To
No,
your computer? No? Okay, because I'm
nope.
I'm getting a pop. So try holding the microphone a little farther away from your face. Maybe that does. Try there.
How's that?
Okay.
Is that
Yeah.
making it stop popping?
It still has a little pop. So we'll have to work on that for episode 2. But well,
How bad is it?
uh it's pretty noticeable, but we'll definitely fix that.
You want me to swap out mics real quick?
Yeah, go ahead and swap out mics real quick. I will put myself on the screen while you do that. So that way we don't have to witness that. So yeah, there were a few social things real quick. I'm still working on this little program. I got it about a week ago, and I did it at my home computer. Right now I'm at my work computer, and it worked great. And right now it's not showing up, but it will show up here shortly. If not, we'll get to a couple of comments real quick. Alice Laws, my mom, Pastor Steve's wife, just said, "You both are so handsome. Thank you, Mom, for that." Lynn Strutton laughed at my dad's bad joke, commented on the amount of viewers we have right now. Kurt, my brother-in-law Kurt, was talking about the weird quiet pop that we are addressing right now. That's the thing about live broadcasts is you kind of have to fix things on the fly, especially when you don't test enough. This is a test. This is just a test. Let's see. Kate Witt says, "We are regular attendees, but wondered why no Lord's Prayer. We do it from time to time. It's not part of our regular liturgy, but certainly would be a good one to incorporate." Nancy Smith, smile emojis. Uh, Lynn Strutton asks, "Do we need more volunteers?" And I will let my dad answer that one. And Sharon Good says, "We will have bananas ready soon that we would like to donate to the church once they are ready." That's bananas. Okay, so yeah, that would be awesome. People love bananas. I'm gonna put my dad back on the screen. How you doing, Dad?
Okay, is that better?
Yes, there's no popping. Cool, very
Okay,
good.
well,
So
good. If
yeah,
you probably need to text back Alice and tell her I'm on the very sensitive microphone now, so any noises that she makes in the house will be
she
part of the show.
she was watching us. Hopefully, our good looks alone can keep her tuned in. And then I can
Okay.
hear your headphones, so maybe you can bring your volume down just a tish.
Too many things to do here. And hang on, I gotta reach way over there. All right, how's that?
That's better.
Can you hear that? Everything sound okay?
Yeah, sounds pretty good. So some more comments coming in. Jessica Delgado with the laughing emoji
Uh,
4 times. That was 4 laughs.
you know
That's a
what you
lot of
can hear
laughs.
is I'm not hearing you in my headphones. I'm hearing you in my speakers. So sorry about the technical problems.
One
So
of
I need to
us
get.
was ready to go, right?
Well, I thought the other one worked perfect. I need to turn off the speakers on my computer. And there. Okay, Kevin, you still hear me?
I can still hear you, nice and clear.
But I can't hear you now.
Cameron says, "Is this just a testing video? This is a pilot episode, so
Yeah, well,
we'll, we'll
okay.
we'll
We're just
get
gonna have
better
to
at
leave it
this.
there. Are
Mainly,
you
you'll
getting a
get
lot of
better at
feedback
this.
from me?
No, I can hear you nice and clear. There's no popping.
Okay.
This is millennials versus boomers with technology here going on. Who can podcast the best?
Yeah, well, it's not us, but I can since you're just having to I can hear you fine
Yeah.
because the speakers are coming through. So if it's popping through the microphone, there's not much I can do about it.
No, that's all good. So we did get one comment. I don't know if you heard me say it or not. Uh, they wondered why we don't say the Lord's Prayer. Now, we do say it from time to time. And you, when was the last time you preached that message? Because you had like a whole sermon series where we kind of went
I
through
did it
that.
not long ago, and actually, I'm probably starting next week gonna do go through the Lord's Prayer. The like 4 weeks ago, I taught on the Lord's Prayer, and I said how we usually get it backwards. And I was in the midst of really teaching on prayer in that last series when all this happened, and I was about to jump into a big teaching on the Lord's Prayer. But then the world went crazy, and so we've been trying to just keep going in here. But as part of my latest series that I called Light, when I talk about love, implore, gather virtually, help, and trust, the implore, I've done a message on prayer already, but I plan on doing another message on prayer soon, and it's in my notes. I'll be talking about the Lord's Prayer and actually how to do it the correct way from beginning to end. What a difference that makes. So yeah, great comment.
Yeah.
And so it's just definitely very important. And there's a lot in there, really, in the Lord's Prayer. There's a lot about the ministry of Jesus, and you can see in the Lord's Prayer how he sort of lives out the Lord's Prayer when you really put it together. So we'll be looking at that stuff together.
Cool. So is that when's that coming up in the pipeline for sermon?
Uh, in the next week or two, three, something in there. I wanted to get to it. I almost did it this week, but I'm up to the G now. I was going to hang out on the I for implore a little bit in prayer, but I want to keep moving through because we're up to the G, which I said from the beginning means it talks about gathering virtually, but I'm going to borrow the G and talk about grace because I just think we need a whole lot of grace right now for everybody in our
Sure.
lives. And I want to talk about, God's grace to us. And then I want to talk about, once we get a handle on that, how we really need to be extending God's grace to others. Because I think people are a little cranky right now. And, it's just hard being shut down and shut in and just being bombarded with all the bad news and all of the theories that are out there. And so many different people have opinions. And I think it's just lending itself to everybody sort of getting kind of judgmental and critical. And so we're going to talk about the importance of grace and particularly grace for one another, and that we need a whole lot more of that. So I'm going to borrow that G, and then I can probably come back and talk more about prayer because it's so important. And the idea was to talk through the Lord's Prayer and sort of get it going in the right direction.
Sweet. So you seem to have a pretty good grasp of where you're going with messages. So how many sermons out are you like ready to go? Or maybe you don't have all your notes typed up. It's not quite ready to go into Pro Presenter, but sermon prep. How many sermons you just got like in the bank ready to go? Because like I think for me, when I tried to prepare a message, it's like, oh my gosh, what do I talk about? But granted, I'm much younger than you are and much more
Right.
handsome, but you have, all these messages you've got.
You,
So,
you had to be careful though, because people say you look like me all the time, so you got to live with that because this is where you're heading. Just try and hang on to your hair.
oh yeah,
And
I've had a few gray hairs popping up. It's
yeah,
concerning.
I- my sermon prep, like I said, you can see I'm kind of moving around right now. When I came up with the acronym for LIGHT, I sort of gave myself 5 topics right off the bat, which love, implore,
Right.
gather virtually, help, trust, because I felt like all those things would be what we would need to be talking about in this time. I hadn't planned on doing that series. I certainly hadn't planned on any of this. I was in that other series, All Things New. I was really enjoying that. That could have probably gone on for quite a while yet, but
Sure.
so you have to shift. So I was wanting to talk about prayer and that's important. So like I said, I'm ready to go with that. I probably want to hit those other letters in that in the acronym there for help and for trust, because it's just such an important part. That in times like this, another very important thing is to make sure that you keep your focus outside of yourself, because if you just turn everything in, you're going to get really frustrated. And so it's that constant understanding that we're part of a bigger story, his story, and how do I fit in his story, and what can I do? And I think those things are very helpful. So we want to keep pointing people back to figuring out how we can do that. And some people can't get out and get out of the house. I understand that, but there's ways that we can help. We just got to be sort of imaginative at these times. And then I want to talk about trust a little bit, because obviously we're sunk without having our trust in the Lord. And
Yeah,
then
it's
I can go
definitely
back and revisit these things. So, how far out? No, I have ideas of things that I want to preach about in the future, but they're not really, uh, I haven't got them like worked out yet. I have a piece of paper here somewhere where I've written down ideas for, because you ask,
yeah.
there's things that I want to do in the future. So there's a series idea I have when we can get back to it about it's I'm going to call it like the top 15 verses, and I want to take 15 passages of scripture out of the entire Bible that I think really are important to have a grasp on, that tie together, and sort of preach through those and talk about that. So that's one idea. So
Huh.
to answer your question, I have ideas, but they sort of develop Mondays for the following Sunday. I
Sure.
try and put them down to paper, at least their outlines, and
Yeah, no,
then I can go
it,
from there and build on.
it's very helpful because, being the guy who has to put the verses on the screens, and for the girls who print out the notes, it's very helpful to have that earlier in the week. I hear
Right.
horror stories on Facebook of some pastors who wait till like Saturday afternoon to get it to their tech
Yeah.
crew, and then they have no time to uh,
Yeah.
to like get it in. So yeah, it's awesome that we have a
In our
good
normal
system.
scheme of things, I try and have at least the outlines ready for all of you guys with passages of by Tuesday, and then I have still the rest of the time to kind of figure out what it looks like and where it goes from there.
Yeah, cool. There was another question. My mom, Alice Laws, is commenting again to answer the volunteer question. How many volunteers does it take to pull off these giveaways? Because the communion drive-through, we probably don't really need volunteers, would be my guess. But the Wednesday and Saturday giveaways, do we need more volunteers for those events?
Well, the problem with, yeah, see, the answer to that is yes and no, because if I have a whole lot of people show up, then I'm going to be messing with that. I'm trying to keep the volunteers down to 10. So that we're trying to do our best to be good citizens and stick to the guidelines, which is not to have groups of people going. So I've been telling people no, but if people really would like to get involved, they need to contact me or Pastor Fran or somebody, and let us tell them yes or no, and to go from there. So like I said, we're trying to hold that number down to 10
Yeah.
to make that work. There are some things that can happen during the week, as far as all the food prep and everything, where we could use a few volunteers. But we're blessed, because if I asked for a lot of volunteers, we would
We
quickly
would
have
be, yeah,
way more
yeah, we would
than
have
we
a
can
church
than
again.
we can.
Because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Hey,
people are
a lot of
itching
the
to get out of the
volunteers,
house and do something.
sure. So we're just trying to be real careful with that, and figure that out. But we are grateful for those people that have been coming to help, and it's busy. The drive-throughs have been busy, but I think it's been very helpful.
Sweet. Let's see, going back in there. Nancy's excited for the next episode. That's cool. We'll definitely do it again Thursday. We'll go through some some troubleshooting
They
stuff.
want us to be
Hey,
done already. They're looking forward to the next episode. We haven't finished this one yet.
what does that
Hey, this
mean?
one stinks. That's number two. The first one ought to be better after the pilot, and all the problems have sort of
Right. The
figured out.
pilot is you make sure that the premise works, and
Yeah.
we always have bugs, and it's always funny. How well would you say we handle mishaps during like church?
Well, we try and handle them well enough so that most people don't know they're going on, unless it's so obvious that I have to draw attention to it to diffuse it a little bit.
Yeah,
But
because
I would say
we've
that
had some pretty big slip ups live.
most of the time people don't realize it unless they don't realize that nothing is working and we're kind of but things happen, so you just keep plugging away and you do the best you can. I mean, fortunately, I was able to change microphones there. I had to log out of this program, log back in again, and
Sure.
make that happen. And that I had the stuff here to do it, because the other microphone, as far as we knew, wasn't clicking before we started. I don't know what was making it click.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting how that happens. Well,
The so a question for you. What songs are in the works for the weekend?
let's see. I have this app called Planning Center, so I'm actually going to go on there real quick and tell you that because I have a list. It's always good to have a list and prepare, so that way when you forget, when somebody asks you that question, you
Right.
can you can do it. But let's see. We're starting with. It's got me in the wrong. Okay, we're gonna go into services. The first song we're doing is a good one, and I've almost got the list loaded up. Here we go. Do-do-do-do. Okay,
You're not
there we go.
stalling
Well,
very well.
actually, we're bringing a Matt Redman song back called "Never Once." We did it a few years ago, and I think we'll do that. And then second in the set, we're gonna do "Goodness of God," the Bethel tune. My wife will lead that. And then there's a Jesus Culture Katie Torwalt song called Prophesy Your Promise. And then we're ending with a new one that got a lot of requests. I got at least half a dozen requests this week to do Graves into Gardens. So we're going to attempt to do
Oh,
that
good,
one
you're doing that.
last in the
Good,
set, too.
good.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited. That's
So
I
it's,
requested that one too.
yeah, when there's enough requests, then it kind of pushes us to do it. But
Yeah.
fortunately, I like that song. So that'll be
People
a
laugh at
fun
me
one to do.
sometimes. Oh, they say, hey, I'd like to see the worship to do this song, and I'm like, sometimes I ask for a song and it takes 6 months. So good luck.
It depends on the song. Some songs I get through like right away. It just
I think it really depends on whether or not you like it.
exactly. That's really the final step for a song getting played is my opinion of
So,
the
and
song. Is
listen,
there a really cool
you have a
guitar
pretty
solo in there?
yeah. You have a pretty cool thing coming up on the 18th,
Yeah.
that I think is really good. The worshipteam.com folks asked you to help produce a little thing they're doing of live worship, and it's going to have some pretty well known Christian recording artists on it.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of folks from Vineyard Worship who are going to be on it. Our friend Mike O'Brien, who was down leap year day, the February 29th, he was here. He's going to be on there. Brian Dorkson, he wrote Come Now's the Time to Worship, is going to do a couple songs. Some other folks from the Vineyard will be on there too. So, yeah, it's going to be great. Kimmy and I get to play on it, which is
yeah,
a really cool deal too. So, yeah, that'll be fun. That's going to be 4 o'clock Eastern Time online. And I think if you go to the Vineyard Gilbert Facebook page, they're basing it out of a church in Arizona. That's where worshipteam.com is based out of. And it'll be
so
streamed from
4 o'clock
there.
Eastern time, or 4 o'clock their time and 7 o'clock our time.
4 o'clock Eastern time. That was a big thing because we're doing. There's people from all over the world being a part of it, right? And definitely all over the country, and some folks in Canada. So time zones are weird. And Arizona has this weird thing where they don't do the time change, so they could be. I think they vary between Mountain Time and you know Pacific time is how it works. So like when time changes, because we just sprung forward, they're in one zone. So right now they're the same as Pacific time. So it's 3 hours behind for them on the West Coast. So we were talking. So the original plan was to do it, at like 5:30 their time, which was 8:30 at ours. So, I was gonna have to stream our service and then stream their thing, and I'm having to pull in all these people live, and so it's going to be mixed. So this is a good like practice in which I can pull people in, so I'm very excited about that. But it will be different shots of various worship leaders in their living rooms getting to do different things. But there's going to be, a lot of great folks on there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'd encourage you all to join. I will try to share it to our church's Facebook, and so that way, if you don't find, any other pages it's on, you can find it from our Facebook page, Keys Vineyard. Which, if you
So
haven't
that's
liked
four
yet,
o'clock on
go
that's
like it.
4 o'clock on Saturday.
4 o'clock,
You're
yeah.
going to
So
be
you
busy.
can. Oh yeah, I'll be busy. So you can watch that. Then you can, watch our service Saturday night 7 if you want.
Yeah.
So how about here's another question for you. Well, actually, let's take a question from the comments. Hal asks, "Will all the virtual things that have been done the past month be continued once things get back to normal, or can't?" And that's a good question. With this, our hope is to do this weekly, even when we're back moving. Wouldn't you say that's the case?
Yeah, I think this is a fun format. I would say yes. We're going to try and keep as much of the stuff going as we can. Uh, you know, we've had a lot of the staff trying to post things a couple of times a week, and some even daily. So if we can keep that going, I think we will. Just for people that are interested. And so we think it's a definite win. The amount of people we have watching us worldwide on the weekends is fascinating to me.
I know it's
It's
nuts.
thousands of people that watch, and we're just a tiny little church, down in the Keys. Thousands of
Right.
people watch us, and from all over the world, we got people watching us, sending us comments, encouraging us. That are watching us regularly, not just every now and then. I mean, that like get hooked in and watch us. So I think that's very cool to see. So we want to continue to build that. I think it's a great way how that a church in one spot can sort of impact way beyond their geographical areas and make a big difference.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, that was our notes for now. This thank you guys if you stuck with us the whole show, for staying with us. We'll tighten things up. I'll do my end of stuff, and we'll get Dad's microphone situated a bit too, because we were going
Yeah,
like
and we're
I
gonna
have this gamer headset thing, but I have a lot more control over this kind of stuff.
yeah we're gonna start inviting guests in too. To
Hmm.
we'll bring some special guests on the show that we can put them on the screen with us, and
Yeah, we'll
they
do
can be a part of that.
some staff highlights, and we'll bring in some volunteers too, and we can just put them like right in between us. It's like a little volunteer sandwich.
Yeah. All right.
So anyway, thank you for watching. Stay tuned. We'll do this Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys want to get in touch with us, you can comment. You can ask us a question for the next episode. Um, you can email us. They should be on the staff website page. I think we have a page in the website with the staff, so you can check us out there. Friend us on Facebook too. Like the Facebook page, subscribe to us on YouTube, all that good stuff. I feel like a real YouTuber now, telling people to do
Yeah,
that.
that's
And
funny.
yeah, we're super excited about this. So thank you for being a part. Thanks for jumping on, Dad. And we'll see you soon.
So do we end by saying goodbye, Vineyard,
Well,
or
I don't
or, or
know.
do we say
Uh,
hello, Vineyard, again?
well, we could say hello, Vineyard, but then it's like we're starting a whole new thing. We could just make everybody
Good,
think it's a
good,
deja vu.
goodbye,
But
hello, Vineyard.
goodbye, hello, Vineyard. All right, we'll see you soon.
Bye bye.